I used to say that one of my jokes I used to say with one of my buddies in the Peace Corps is that a grill, if you're grilling outside, it's a kitch out, not a kitchen. But,
oh,
I bet he never laughed at that one, did he?
No, he never did. Well, no, he had a few in him. He had a few beers at the time, so actually it was like the joke going on the whole night was a kitch out. But all right, so everybody's in. Enoch's not in online yet.
It's taking forever to load.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's coming through now, though.
All right, so just to recap, so basically this is the poker tournament that happens with the 5 cairns that get together. You have the Devil's Pride Caern, which is the Black Fury cairn. You have the Maldavo Canyon, which is the Get of Fenris cairn. Wilkins Farm, which is the Iron Riders cairn. Paradise Valley, which is the Shadowlords cairn, which are hosting it. And, of course, the Mutt Caern of Harrowgate.
Do we really go by the Mutt Caern?
No, you guys do not go by the name of the Mutt Caern, but that's just what the other cairns consider you all as.
Because they're race.
Or that everybody else can sniff our butt, Caern.
So, as I say, you know, the tournament also gives the SEP leaders a chance to gather and discuss. Primarily on the minds of many is the Storm Eater's increasing strength as is at its slow march through the deep umbra heading towards the penumbra. And I'll just read the note here for that. You all accompany Francesca Grove, your SEP leader, to Paradise Valley, not so much for her sake, but for Phil's insistence. As you come, you'll be Phil is going to be representing Harrowgate because he won the last tournament. Nana Boshar is also attending. She's taking in the knowledge. She is taking the knowledge that you all brought regarding the impending maelstrom, and has requested that all the right masters of each cairn meet and garner advice and potential assistance. Before you all go, Francesca gets quiet and seems to stare off into space as you guys are heading. You're actually getting on the moon bridge at this point in Harrowgate. She snaps out of a trance and states that something has come up and she cannot go, which kind of puts you all to. And she pulls you aside, Woo, and looks at you straight in the eye, and she says, "I need you to handle this. Nana is going to be too busy with the Thurges." And
but
I know
I'm only
that
rank 2.
when it comes to actually talking, this has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with making sure the message of importance of what's happening in Harrowgate is conveyed. And let's be honest, you're the one that has the best strength in that to ensure that what is happening, what could be happening, is taken seriously. And we can't have any politics involved in this, especially if it's going to be opening up. If a maelstrom is coming, it's going to be ripping open the gauntlet here. This is something bigger than anything that we can handle.
I'll do my best.
So you all get on the moon bridge and head towards Paradise Valley because it's connected to the cairn. The journey is much quicker than it would be if you were on it. If you were heading towards another unestablished cairn that you're connected to. So you all arrive. Everything's going. There's the whole camaraderie of "Hi, how are you?" that kind of stuff, and there's the pomp and circumstance of having all 5 cairns getting together, which is what normally would happen. And then the game goes for the poker game takes the event of the poker game happens, and eventually it gets down to 3 people at the poker game. The Black Fury is the first one that's out. The Get is the second one out, and now the last ones that are now in the poker game is Generous Calvin, who is from the Iron Riders Caern Wilkins Farm, and Lucas Fellshadow, who is the Shadowlord, who is hosting the tournament. So, and of course, the Harrowgate person, Phil, who is the returning champion. I'll let the 3 of you go for it.
I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. I missed the which. I know that I'm playing Lucas. Mike's playing Phil. Who's Dale playing in this one?
I'm Generous Calvin.
Generous Calvin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Something
that was
just
what I'm sorry. What tribe was that?
Iron Riders.
Iron Riders. Okay. I was just lost track of who was what for a moment.
So all 3 of you are acquaintances, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You're not best friends, obviously, but you all know each other.
I'm gonna roll my 10 dice in gambling.
It's a good way to start the gambling. You got go ahead and if you guys want to roll for this the hand, I guess that's being dealt.
Oh, so then so Brian, then you're playing the.
I'm playing the Shadowlord.
Shadowlord. What's the name again?
Lucas.
Go ahead, everybody, roll your dice, whatever you want it to be. If you have a gambling trait, go ahead and roll that. If you want to roll any type of subterfuge, if you want to roll anything to do with performance, whichever you feel that's best, and let me know what roll you're going to make.
I'll be doing a little bit of manipulation, gambling.
Okay. Who are you gearing that towards?
We'll be gearing towards the Iron Rider first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just make up a difficulty or go with 6 unless otherwise.
Go for 6. You should go for 6.
I'm hoping for some botches.
2 successes.
Winning things is way too much pressure.
All right, so go ahead and role play that out. Tell me what you're doing to Dale's character.
It's going to be just a lot of my usual whole lot of games. Like, wow. At least it's the 3 of us in the finals, right? I mean, better than having a Black Fury win this, or for God's sake, a Get.
Don't make me puke in my mouth when I'm trying to play cards.
So how are you 2 doing? I mean, long time no see. I've been at least a year.
It's been a little too long with you maintaining that winning streak. We're glad to be here and see that come to an end.
Yeah, I mean, the trophy is getting a little bit heavy to carry around, so I do appreciate you here to take it from me. Sorry, need to refresh the notes real quick. No, I'm just rereading what you gave me, Barney. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, not every day you see a Shadowlord and Iron Rider working together.
Well, it's a cooperative arrangement. We play cards, he gives me his money.
All right, go ahead. Did you guys roll as well?
I'm trying to look something up, and I keep losing track of what window is window. I'm trying to message you something, Barney.
Yeah,
okay.
I was trying to do the same thing.
But like, I have all these different freaking windows, and I'm losing track of what's where.
Right. Where are you sending it?
Facebook.
Okay.
Putting it on the Twitter.
Hashtag screw over Mike. I wonder if that hashtag exists.
Hashtag screw over Mike.
Does now.
All right.
So
No results for screw over Mike.
Gotta start that new hashtag.
You better start it now.
I'll make t-shirts.
now I got to remember how to do dice. Let's see here.
You can just use your character. Just kind of pick something that has the same amount of dice pool that you'd want to use.
Or I think like you could even do like a / roll 10d10.
There it is. 52.
I mean, it won't give you like versus difficulty. You'll have to count, but wow, 3 1s.
There it is. 4 successes. That works better.
I figured out how to do it. You just go to the little die, the thing that looks like a 20 die.
Oh, right, next to it. Yeah.
Your advanced roll, set it up. You can just choose the number of dice. You choose what type of die, whether or not there's going to be add-ons. It needs to be greater than or less than. In this case, I just chose greater than 6. And then set that up. So, Barney, those are my successes for what I just texted to you.
Okay. All right. And Lucas, what are you doing?
I am what I just sent you.
Oh, did you send me a message too? Oh, there it is.
I just now sent you something on Facebook.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what to.
To the left of the map, there's like an arrow, a paintbrush.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. So yours, so that would be a difficulty, real difficulty of a 7.
One success, or
it rolled. I didn't roll anything. Why is it rolling me something? That's weird.
If you're hitting just the die at the top, it just rolls 1 die.
Oh, okay.
So if you go below that to the advanced options for roll, you choose the number of dice.
Okay.
Then you choose the die, then the modifier, and then go from there.
Yeah, roll 10 dice, Brian. Difficulty of a 7. All right. Yeah, and keep. What else are you doing? What else are you doing, Phil?
I mean, other thing, and maybe it will be needling for information. Just trying some charisma subterfuge to keep the chat going and to appear to be a genuinely nice guy.
All right, so you got 3 successes on that roll, Lucas. Go ahead and role play it out. How are you saying it?
I'm just saying, I'm glad you guys could make it to our beautiful cairn for this beautiful game, but you're on Shadowlord territory, which means there's no way you have a chance to win. So if you want to fold now, you can go right ahead, but if you want to play and get humiliated by me later, that'll work too. But either way, I'm walking out of here with all your money.
Let's see here. What is that?
So I hear what you're saying, Lucas, but as we all know, it's the Iron Riders that are running running rickshaw across the west here. So we're going to need all your money to make sure you have everything you need to have big beautiful cities here, or big beautiful towns out here in the Great West.
Both of you. All right.
That's going to be for what I just rolled.
Okay. So then, Phil, roll wit subterfuge, difficulty of an 8.
And I continue with, but in the meantime, I think we can all enjoy some of your hospitality. A little bit of Enoch's finest on your tab wouldn't be so bad.
I'm not doing that well tonight.
All right, Phil, you're actually kind of thinking that Lucas is doing pretty good.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, Lucas once again the Iron Rider, right?
No, Lucas is the Shadow Lord.
All right.
You actually know, you two kind of have a rivalry. You're both from the same tribe, and so.
Well, one thing I can't agree with is I think it's likely a Shadowlord is going to come out ahead in this one.
Of that, there is no doubt.
Well, while the odds are for that dark tribe, the progress is much more likely to win over tonight.
All right. So we're gonna cut there, and we're gonna go to the scene with the Thurges. All right. Does everybody remember their characters they're playing?
I think it's Enoch, right?
Yeah, you've got Enoch.
Let me just remind myself real quick.
Okay.
So, Barney, where are we actually at? What's the setting?
You guys are actually in basically kind of like in the most spiritual center of Paradise Valley. It's kind of hollowed out cave with waters you're able to easily go back and forth through the penumbra that they use. Lots of omitting power about the place. It's a very Shadowlord Thurge setting. You guys are actually in the penumbra as Thurges. You just feel more comfortable in the Umbra than you would in the real world. So you're right there. You have Nana Boshar there. You have Enoch is there. You have Alistar Blackwell, who is being played by Mike, who is the Right Master of Paradise Valley. He's an elder. You also have Ashe, Spirit Singer. She's a Black Fury Thurge, who's the Right Master there. And you also have among the group is the Dwayne Cold Story, who is the Right Master from the Get of Fenris caern, and Foreman Davidson, who is the Iron Rider there as well.
I'm sorry, which one was Mike's character? I'm trying to keep up.
Alistar Blackwell.
And you're a Shadow Lord?
Yep.
So wait, is she then the Shadow Lord of the of that
Correct.
character? Okay.
Correct. So go ahead, Alistar, since you're kind of hosting the event, you want to, but Nana Boshar is the one who called it, but you have by tradition you have to actually start off the meeting, start off the moot. Basically, you guys are kind of having a mini moot.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Oh, by the way, I'm playing Aisha, the Black Fury.
All right. I'd like to formally welcome everyone to Paradise Valley. I think we will have a very interesting and productive discussion today. The main topic I would like to bring up are the interesting circumstances involving Gold Springs and the ghosts pertaining and the ghosts around the area. I believe we have a representative from Harrowgate who may expound on this.
Nana Beauchard starts, and she says, I called the meeting. I called this group together. There is a lot of crazy things happening right now. And as much as I would like to direct the entire conversation, I do have a bone gnawer with us here. Some of you have already known of Enoch in the past, with his special drinks that he frequently gives any of you who come through, and the benefit of being a bone gnawer is that he does not have to dwell too much on courtesy and can speak plainly and truthfully. And he has also been one of the primary investigators on what's been happening in Gold Springs, and it does involve the Dark Umber, which many of us know little about, and he's been doing a lot of studies on this. So without further ado, I will hand it over to a friend and a past student who's not much of a student anymore, to Enoch. She looks towards you.
Yeah, I as part of the kind of attention-getting process, but also as part of a ritual, I kind of like, I wouldn't say like saunter, but kind of like almost like stomp out into the center of the group, and I start passing around several jars of my best moonshine, and just passing it around for the sake of kind of, like I said, having a bit of a ceremony to it all. So passing out jars, and as I'm passing out the jars, thanking Nana Beauchard for giving me this moment to speak, but most importantly, thanking the Shadowlords for their hospitality and their interest in making sure that not only are we comfortable here, but we also have a moment to discuss the events that I've been involved in. To start as much as I can from the beginning. Sometime early this year, we had several women go missing from our area, and that's led us onto several adventures, including finding and rescuing some of them, as well as fighting kind of a tall, faceless, creepy individual whom we've learned is actually what is drawing the what's the storm called? The
Maelstrom.
Yeah, but what's the
the Storm Eater.
Yeah, that's drawing the Maelstrom, the Storm Eater, to us, and we all know that if that kind of damage happens to us, it will have very strong and intense wave-like impacts to all of you. And I think that we all understand the necessity to protect everybody from what could be a problem coming from this maelstrom.
I agree 100% with the necessity to protect everyone from the maelstrom. Do you believe you're the right party to do so?
We believe that we are the ones that have this we are willing to you know, put you know, put our tails at least somewhat between our hind legs and ask for some help, knowing that we're also willing to compensate you. And I take a big swig of whiskey. Compensate you for whatever help you can give us.
Intriguing. Everyone's thoughts on this? Look to the Black Fury.
Brian, you there?
I am there. Brian is. I would say we are listening for now.
Excellent. If no one else has any immediate questions, I might have one or two.
Absolutely. What questions do you have?
With the spirits you've been running into, like the corpse, have you been able to defeat any of them? I know you've mentioned you've been in conflict with them occasionally, if they are bringing the Stormbringer.
We've seen at least one of them fall, and we know it can die. We know we are capable of harming them, and at the very least, sending them running. So we know we do enough damage that their instinct to run and stay alive kicks in.
The one that fell, what happened with it afterwards?
We saw this big bird-headed woman who had been protecting a local cave that seemed to be sheltering or jailing these young faceless child spirits. When that thing died, it didn't seem to do anything in particular. Barney, am I missing something there in terms of the bird chick?
No, that's about it. Yeah. But remember also the other piece is the how they were gathering up the spirits and turning them into.
Oh yeah, there were I don't know what were they? They were just little like spirits. But what were they?
They're ghosts.
But did they look in any particular way, or?
It looked like they've been kind of transformed a bit, but
there were what seemed like maybe manipulated spirits who seemed to be working with the bird-headed woman, and they were gathering up other spirits and using them to build the wall that was imprisoning the faceless children. With Barney's spirit, real quick, when Barney's on the screen, when with his right now with the music that's playing and the smoke going in the background, very creepy.
Very creepy. All right, we're gonna flash to the next scene.
Sorry, what was Mike gonna say?
Oh,
the thing I was gonna say, and I guess we could say it like right before we flash to the next scene. Well, actually, no. I mean, it's going to be a question. Can we get back there where the spirits are? Where you ran into them?
Absolutely. I can take us there. Ted and I both have practiced this ceremony.
all right. Next scene. We are now Woo. Woo, you're in front of the council, the elders of the sept leaders. You have Jacob Storm Mountain, who's a sept leader of Paradise Valley, the Shadowlord Caern you're in. You also have in there. You also have Yatzel, Tribe Runner. She is she's the Black Fury. You have Judge Cooper, who is the sept leader for the Iron Riders, and you have and who's the other one? And then you have Oscar Grimhall, who is the Get of Fenris sept leader.
And today, Oscar Grimhall is played by Dale Wilson.
Dale Wilson's playing the Get of Fenris sept leader, and Mike is playing the Shadowlord sept leader. Needless to say, Will, you're standing there because you are not of equal rank. They've asked you to kind of sit on the rug. You guys are basically in. It's an old. Well, it's an abandoned military fort. That's what it's been built as. But why it's been abandoned, nobody quite knows why, except obviously probably Jacob Storm Mountain knows. So the place has a sense of austerity to it, but also a sense of frontier. Frontier austerity would be the best way to describe the room you're in.
Is that the paint color?
Yeah.
Sorry. So Brian's playing Woo. Who's Mike playing?
Jacob Storm Mountain, Shadowlord here.
Yep.
And Barney, did you see my message?
Let's see your message. Philodox.
Okay. I'm guessing, but wasn't.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and you're also a Philodox as well, Jacob.
All right.
You said something about me sitting on the rug?
Yeah, you're kind of sitting on it. That's well, you're of lower stature, so
right.
Whether it be on the rug or maybe at a chair, and everybody else is kind of sitting on a higher chair.
I'll sit on the floor.
Okay. All right. It's all for you. Go for it, Woo.
It's funny because Brian barely has a grasp on the storyline. Like when we were going over it last week, I was like, "Wait, what?" Because I haven't played enough. So I just so I start off, acknowledging that Francisca should rightfully be here instead of me, and that I don't presume to consider myself equal with rank 5s and yada yada. And I am only here out of duty to my caern and to my sept leader, who asked me to represent her here today. And I have no I don't have any other political games or motivations behind me being here. And I just want to thank everybody in the council for giving me this time to attend and blah, blah, blah. And I say, and much like the unity that have brought us all together here for rite and ritual and the fun of games, we need to all come together to protect this land, because there's a great, great danger coming that threatens all of us, wolf and man and Geru alike.
I lean forward with as much intimidation as a get Philodox can muster, and just kind of growl in his face. Well, get on with it, Oriental storyteller.
Roll your charisma performance, Woo.
All right. That's actually a decent roll.
That's right. You're doing it.
All right.
All right.
What's my diff?
Difficulty of a 6. You're in your native. This is your thing, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
This is your thing. This is your jam, man.
4 successes. All right.
Nice.
Oscar and Jacob, you guys feel as with your egos in check, you feel as though that he's telling you a good tale, and you feel honored that he's performing this for you. All right.
Well, Woo, if it's all right if I call you Woo, of course.
Of course.
I'd like to thank you for coming here. Apparently, you take it much more seriously than Francesca does. I take it she had extremely important business that was more important than warning us of the danger that will affect not only all the wolves here, but all the humans and our kind as well.
Her purposes are enigmatic, to say the least. But I trust in them.
Unfortunate.
But I can tell you what, I have seen just the smallest bit of what's coming, and it is very unfortunate. The end is coming, my friends, the end to this land and the life that we love here, if we don't band together to fight what's heading our way. The Storm Eater is coming, and with him a maelstrom that will just totally wreck the gauntlet of our beautiful land here. And it's a bigger threat than any one cairn can face alone.
Then we should plan a defense from Harrowgate, letting our best come in and protect that area.
I think that's an extremely good idea.
We can't throw everything at one cairn and then be vulnerable in all the other cairns. We need a network of support.
And I agree with that. I think the networks of support should include having some of my soldiers who are more than capable of leading you into victory. But you need us there for that.
It does seem like one set leader is taking this a lot more seriously than Francesca is. As much as I hate to admit it, I feel the Get have an extremely valid point here.
And what does the Black Fury canon leader say to that? Sub leader say to that?
She says, if we do something, we have to do something all together.
Yeah, and I think the Black Furies would play a very good role in a kind of more of a... I think the Black Furies would perform well in more of a support role for this. I mean, if I recall, last time we had to deal with issues around Harrowgate, which do tend to happen quite often, I thought we saw... Weren't there rumors of some Black Furies being on the opposing side? I mean, I hate to say it, but I think your reputation is slightly tarnished, unlike our Get friends who have been valiant defenders of the area.
Roll your charisma subterfuge.
I'm kind of hoping I fail this one. Look at that roll.
Wow.
I should not be rolling anything tonight.
Oscar, are you going to jump in on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Black Furies need to make sure that their own business is protected. I do think that they have some dissenters, but most importantly, I think that as we know, Harrowgate is not the strongest of cairns, likely the weakest, and I think it's important that there be representatives from the other cairns who often come to its defense. We should be there. We should be represented there in the fight.
The Black Fury Yitzel speaks up. She goes, "It's my understanding there already is a Get in Harrowgate."
Yeah, we've heard of a shit blood of the Wyborns, who's apparently sought refuge in your mutt cairn. Likely another example of dubious weakness.
So then I would like to point out that however, then that if you're saying that this Wyborn that lives in there is not representative of your tribe, then why do you think that an errant pack of Black Furies is representative of our tribe?
I'm more than willing to take care of my own business.
As far as I'm concerned, I think Francesca's doing an excellent job uniting many tribes. And I, for one, would not want to see I would not want to see one tribe push their way into that entire cairn. With that said, we would be happy to assist you, and we can bring as many Black Furies as you want.
I think tribal unity is an admirable goal we all should be searching for. But if we are truly in as much danger as Wu says we are, and I believe Wu 100%, I mean, at some point you have to set aside what your dreams are and just focus on the reality we currently have. And
what do you recommend, Jacob?
has not impressed me. I think the Get should be in charge of organizing a defense for Harrowgate. And once they come back with their advice and strategies, I think we can all discuss it.
I think that your interests in Harrowgate are perhaps distracting you from all the possibilities of what is coming and what we are going to have to deal with. Namely, not Harrowgate, but the human town of Gold Springs is most likely going to be the first epicenter of attack by the Maelstrom and the Storm Eater, as all signs point to. So if you could get some of your valuable warriors encamped near Gold Springs to be ready for the fight, I think that is what would prove most useful towards victory.
If you would like us to watch over Gold Springs, we can definitely oblige that request.
This is an issue that seems to be recurring, though, is that Harrowgate hides away lessers, shitbloods, and always comes asking for our assistance when they're not willing to give up some of what we would like in return.
To be clear, I haven't come asking you to assist Harrowgate.
But we all know that it's needed.
Asking you to unite in defense of all of our lands and all of our cairns.
We know that
a united force is what is going to take on this Maelstrom, not people jumping on this cairn or that cairn.
To do it properly, we need access to all the cairns. Harrowgate is the only one that doesn't allow access to the other tribes.
Harrowgate allows access to all the tribes. It doesn't depend on the tribe, it depends on the person.
Isn't that convenient?
Here I am from a completely different world, from the far side of the planet. The only one of my kind anywhere around here. And Harrowgate called to me. I had no problem finding Harrowgate. Harrowgate chooses who it lets in. It's not for me to decide, or you to decide, or anyone else to decide. It's up to Harrowgate to decide. And if Harrowgate wants you in, Harrowgate will call you. And that's all there is to it.
We'll make a concession.
Barney, what was the name of the Black Fury set leader again?
Yitzel.
Yitzel?
Yeah.
Yitzel, have you ever been to have you been welcomed to Harrowgate?
Myself personally, I do feel as though there is a level of inconvenience that the spirits of Harrowgate give everybody else.
Okay, the Get will make a concession. If you give us the Wyborn shit blood, we will defend you, and we won't kill it. But we need to atone for it. So we'll protect you, but we want it.
Barney, do I think that is he talking about Aaron's character?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yitzel speaks up and she says...
Wait, is that Aaron's character or Chris's character?
Aaron's character.
Okay. All right, cool.
Well, they don't know about Chris's character yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
If they find out that this shitbot actually has a kid...
Mike to Brian, don't bring that up.
Yitzel speaks up and says, I would also like to share a similar concession and say, if you give us information on the Black Fury pact that's been around, floating around Harrowgate, we would be more than welcome to provide some assistance as well. And Yitzel makes a side eye to Oscar, as if that they're speaking the same terms of wanting their own rooms cleaned, their own personal garbage taken out of their own.
I lean forward into the group. I think all of these are good concessions for the defense that we bring to Harrowgate.
And pause there. We're going back to the poker game.
All right. Yeah, Barney, I sent you a couple messages on
Okay.
the poker.
All right. Let's see here. World Saloon. All right. Back to the poker game. All right. Let me read your messages.
So I order up a round of whiskey for everybody, and
Okay.
as I'm pouring it, I make sure and pour more into shoot, I just lost the notes. What's Brian's character?
Brian's Lucas.
More into Lucas's glass, and very little into Phil's glass.
Awfully generous of you.
He knows to serve his betters. I take a sip.
Oh. Well, we are all equals among the poker table, right?
If only that were the case. We'd have a much better game if it were.
Well, no, I think you're doing fairly well.
I'm doing well enough.
As it stands right now, Generous Calvin, you have $20 left. Lucas Fellshadow, you are up $300, and Phil, you are sitting kind of in the middle at 150.
Well, at least we gotta do something we enjoy rather than being stuck in all these backwater politics, eh?
Honestly,
could've-
it's hard to tell that you actually enjoy playing poker these days.
Well, it's better than hanging out inside a cave, I can tell you that.
Who's hanging out? I'm sorry.
And also too, remember that pretty much all of the Shadowlords are, and anybody guests, this is the main event. You guys are not by yourselves in a corner. You are surrounded by people who are watching.
So who's stuck in a cave nowadays? I mean, I have a nice, lovely room.
You're not at third either.
So poor them.
He isn't, is he? Is Phil a third?
Yeah.
Phil is a third?
No, Phil's not a third.
No, God no.
No, he's a ragabash.
That requires knowing too much about the werewolf backstory. That's fine. Have you guys seen the train in Gold Springs? Kind of nice, made by Shadowlord Glasswalker Cooperation. Iron Rider, sorry. Miracle what we can do when we put our minds together.
If only you could put your cards together as well.
Play the crowd. Everyone, I believe this man's trying to rile me up. And can anyone get me a new drink? Mine appears to have gone empty.
I'll certainly pour for the table. I lean forward and pour for Lucas, and give Phil another half a nip.
That's awfully generous of you, Calvin.
Yeah. Lucas, I do believe you have an admirer here.
It's his whiskey. He's buying, so.
I do believe I have a room full of admirers here.
You get the home court advantage, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why Lucas is going to win.
Hey. Well, Lucas is behind right now, isn't he?
No, he's
I'm
winning.
ahead.
Oh, my bad. Oh no.
No, generous Calvin's been a little too generous with his money. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and roll your wet subterfuge. See if we can get anything out of him.
Did you see what I wrote, Barney?
You figure with 2 monitors, I'd just be able to see everything.
I know I do have 2 monitors, and I'm still having a hard time.
Yeah,
Look
I have
at
to
this.
You're not gonna win.
All right, go for it. That's fine.
You're not gonna win.
Jeez.
So that's the successes I just got for that.
Okay. Then all right.
On each of my last 5 rolls, there have been 4 more dice, 1 or under. I mean,
all right.
3 or
So
under.
you are now at $100. You're $100 debt. You lost $50, Phil,
No.
and generous Calvin has your $50. So now it's 70 to 100 to 300. So next round, you're dealing, Phil. If you want to do any subterfuge, any sleight of hand.
I'm going to get caught if I try cheating too much.
You might. Who knows? We'll see what the rolls
I'm
say.
definitely keeping a close eye on every hand being dealt.
What I would do, I would make a perception alertness against a dex subterfuge roll if you wanted to do something with the cards. Dude, you're a ragabash.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen if they catch me cheating, right?
No, they're just werewolves. You're just in a room full of werewolves.
Yeah, we'll try it. We'll spend a willpower to do the dex subterfuge, do a little bottom dealing.
All right. Dex subterfuge. Go ahead and roll. If you guys want to roll your perception alertness against it. Difficulty of a 6.
I'll just roll.
Do you see that?
You don't.
Do you
I
see
think
that?
really about the rolling.
Shit.
Holy shit. That is 8 dice with the highest one being a 5.
You got -2 successes on that roll, Phil. Okay, play it out, man.
Another deck of cards falls out of the sleeve.
Yeah, play it out. How do you botch this, Phil? Play it out. What do you do?
Sorry, I'm getting amazed at all this rolling tonight. Give me 1 second.
Go play out your horrendous botch that you just performed and trying to cheat at poker in a room full of werewolves.
Give me. Are we sure there's nothing wrong with Roll20 right now?
Well, Dale and I both got 2 successes on watching you botch. So
yeah.
I reach out and
I'll say it's pretty much start dealing cards and like almost blatantly we quote unquote accidentally drop a card in my lap. I mean, with a failure, you can say you got caught. With a botch, I mean, it's got to be almost like comically bad.
Yep.
You got cards coming out of your sleeves.
Yeah.
I
act in shock, like and then the other decks of cards fall out of the sleeves.
I reach forward and snag the card from your lap, and I pluck it up in your face and ask. I think you dropped your next card in your lap.
Appears I have.
Barney,
thank you for your observation.
Barney, I catch the eye of whatever Arun is working security for the bar, and I point to Phil. Cheater.
You see, Ed. Yeah, basically, Phil, you have obviously been disqualified from the poker tournament now.
I ask, can we get another deck? Can we get another deck of cards here? It seems like there's been some mischief with this one.
All right, Phil, you get booed big time. Everybody's booing you. Oh man!
As he gets up, you're a shame to the tribe, son.
Shadowlords do not like to lose renown, man. All right, we're gonna switch now to the third scene.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Weren't you supposed to go up to rank 4? I think maybe that didn't happen.
All right, where is the next one?
I think you just lost a permanent honor, dude.
All right, back to the scene. Go ahead, Enoch.
So what did we left off with?
I think with like, can we get back there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I said absolutely. Aaron and I, Ted and I are well practiced in being able to travel there. And I think that we potentially need to, we have to figure out a way so that whether it be that he's dead or that he's just no longer pulling the maelstrom towards us, it's something we need to resolve via going to him and not waiting for him to come to us, because obviously he's been pulling this thing closer to us for some time. We just haven't picked up on it to do something about it.
Are you going to tell them that it's a mummy?
No, I'm not gonna reference that.
Okay.
I have an idea. You mentioned one of them died there in the Dark Umbra. You mentioned you could get back there.
Absolutely.
Why don't we go there and bring back pieces of the body for experimentation?
I shoot a side glance at Nana Bouchard.
She says, "What are you looking to learn?"
Well, I think we're all relatively inexperienced with this type of thing, yes?
Nah, none of us are silent striders, that's for sure.
All right, why should knowledge like this be limited to the Silent Striders? Why should we need to talk to them to learn more? Why don't we take what we can from there and run our own tests? The giant bird woman you said that fell.
Maybe.
What can we do with her corpse?
Why do we need to do anything with her corpse?
Well, we are in danger of the maelstrom. I think we...
Is she... Are you saying that the storm is coming for her and not for the faceless man?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if any of us can be sure what exactly is happening yet. But all I know is that we are staring at a vast amount of resources and apparently doing nothing with it yet.
What do you want to use this thing for?
Knowledge. I want to learn everything I can from it. Oh, I'm sorry, you were cutting out, Dale.
Oh, what kind of resources do you see in this thing, and is that more danger than we need to be worried about right now?
Every time I
what
think...
advantage do you think you can get over us by doing this?
At me getting an advantage? And I think...
What game are you at?
I think the passive knowledge are always wrought with a little danger. Can we create a fetish out of her, for instance?
I think that's not necessarily something we need to worry about right now. I think the focus needs to be on either killing or moving Faceless Man.
Well, she was against Faceless Man, right?
She kept him at a distance. She didn't necessarily fight him, per se.
Maybe there's something in her body we can use against Faceless Man. And I think the fact we're calling him Faceless Man shows just how little we know here.
Oh, I agree. We know very little and not nearly enough about Faceless Man. But I'm most interested in what you think you're going to get from using this spirit beyond the defense of the caerns.
I apologize if I haven't been clear. I think we might be able to use the spirit in defense of the caerns, if the spirit's truly dead at the moment. If you pardon, are there any Get here, Barney?
Yeah, his name is the Get there. His name is Dwayne Cold Story.
If you pardon me for speaking like I think Dwayne may be thinking, I see a potential weapon in front of us, and we're afraid to pick it up.
I don't think anybody is afraid to pick it up so much as we're not sure what you aim to gain from all this. But I think it's a good idea, but it should be something that all of the caerns can benefit from, and not just a weapon for your own protection, for your own good.
Oh yeah, I was never thinking of just merely limiting this to Paradise Valley. That would be selfish. But I'm thinking we can all work together to better use the spirit for defending ourselves.
Well, sure, that's something we can engage in.
Dwayne speaks up and he says, as much as I hate to side with Alistair, we know little of the Dark Umbra. And the people who know the most about the Dark Umbra now are the people of Harrowgate. So how much knowledge are you willing to share with us? And how much are you willing for us to go and learn in the same spot? Are you going to be territorial about this, or are you here to ask us to go help? And if we're coming to go help, we're going to have to learn things on our own.
So, Barney, question for you: is this the area where the cave is at? That's at
Harmony Gorge.
Harmony Gorge. Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily part of Harrowgate, correct?
Correct, but if you're going to have a contingent of tribe, that's the closest to, it's closest to the Harrowgate bond. Technically, they're not trespassing, but it's still kind of close.
I shoot another side glance to Nana Beauchard.
She says, it's true we don't know enough about the Dark Umbra, but it's also true that we do not have enough time to do a lot of research. What we need is the knowledge we know now, the knowledge that we know of the Umbra, and utilize that to stop the maelstrom from coming.
I think it's admirable to want to prevent the maelstrom from coming, but I think we also need to prepare if it does come. And
what ideas do you have for that? What I need some specifics. What are we talking?
As Dwayne Coldstory mentioned, opening up this. Perhaps we can take a small group of us to the Penumbra, led by Harrowgate, of course, because they seem to be sitting on this, and we can all take a look at this and see what we can discover.
And I think it would also be wise if the Thurges who have learned the ways of the and its spirits share this knowledge with the Thurges of the other cairns, so that we can all be prepared to deal with enemies coming from the Dark Umbra.
I think the story here, and I have talked to Jacob about this, is so many things right now seem to be limited that's happening around Harrowgate, and we want to help protect Harrowgate, but we feel left out.
Part of the way that we need to protect Harrowgate is to not just open up the front doors to everybody. And that's just the nature of Harrowgate. But I can understand how it would be rude not to offer something up, not to concede a little bit to your own interests and the growth of everybody's knowledge. To your point, I think educating everybody on how to get into the Dark Umbra is a good idea, and we are willing to share all information that we can, and we are also willing to bring that the bird woman body to a location where everybody can learn from whatever there is to know about how to use her as a kind of defense against the faceless man.
Nana Boshar perks up and she says, and let's be very clear here. Every cairn that we work with was created by the Garou, was created by us. We came to Harrowgate. This place has existed before us. We are guests there. We do
They
not.
They are not our doors to leave open.
I'll admit I did not think much of a Bonar Thurge coming here and speaking to us, but your words are quite wise. I'm in complete agreement.
I make sure that as she's saying all this, I take my own jug or my own glass jar of whiskey, and I make sure that she's got a glass jar so that we can toast on what she just said.
Okay. And we go now to the SEP leaders.
The good news is I checked my renown loss for getting caught in trickery. And luckily it doesn't look like I'll lose a rank up, though it will be very, very close.
Wow.
God, yeah. That sucked.
All right.
And I'll be back in 1 second. Need to use the restroom.
Okay.
I want to go feed the
Yeah,
dog.
I want to take a quick bathroom break too.
All right, you guys take a bathroom break. Who's our one viewer? It's going to be either Adam or Aaron. I don't know who it is. You guys both took, everybody took off to pee. Yeah, so just to recap, we're doing 3 scenes at the same time. One is the poker tournament. The second one is the Thurges having a meeting regarding the impending maelstrom. And the third meeting is the SEP leaders talking about how all 5 cairns can get together and work together to help protect Harrowgate. And each person is playing their own character in their scene, while the other 2 are playing NPCs of that scene. So to recap, in the poker game scene, Phil, Mike is playing his own character, Phil. Dale is playing Generous Calvin, who is a Galliard Iron Rider. Brian's playing Lucas Fellshadow, who is a Galliard Shadowlord. Toxum on the Spirit Speakers, that scene. Enoch is playing himself as the Bonar Thurge. Mike is playing Alistair Blackwell, who is the Shadowlord Thurge. And Brian's playing Ashe Spirit Singer, who is the Black Fury Thurge. And now we're at the final scene of the Council of Seps, where Mike is playing Jacob Storm Mountain, who is the Philodox Shadowlord, who's a SEP leader, and Paradise Valley. Dale's playing Oscar Grimhall, who's a Philodox, Get of Fenris. And Brian's playing his own character, who is Woo, rank 2 Galliard. We have 1 viewer, Mike, so it's either Aaron or Adam. One live viewer.
Sorry, it was muted.
Oh.
I think in a way it was good for me to fuck up. No, I mean, I've been on too much of a good streak lately. I needed a night of really shit rolls. Look at these rolls, man.
I can't believe you got a -2 on one of those.
8 dice, 1 was a 5.
Yeah.
1 before that, 7 dice, 2 were above 5. 2 or 5 or above. Before that, 9 dice. 3 were above 5.
Yeah.
Before that, 7 dice. 1 was a 6, 1 was a 10, other 5 or below. It's insanely bad rolling tonight.
Yeah. But hey, it's made the role playing more rolling.
Right.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure our last scene of the poker game is probably just going to be me licking my wounds outside. But fine with that. Yeah, but getting caught in anytime trickery backfires,
yeah,
which I thought was more fitting, is a -2 wisdom. No glory or honor, because I guess they figure, if I'm a ragamuffin, I'm going to be trying to do shit like this.
Right.
But, yeah. I mean, and I understand the wisdom. It's like, hey, you tried doing something, you got caught. You weren't smart enough about it.
That went well.
That went great.
Where are they going? Are they pooping or something?
They might be pooping.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I had to feed my dog and then I had to piss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing a quick bite of cheese because I'm hungry.
Somebody's watching us. It's either Aaron or Adam.
Well, in the words of Rockwell, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
All right, since Brian can hear us, we'll pick up where we left off. Woo, it's all you, man.
Or the Wu-Tang Clan.
Brian.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Do you guys have, when you see yourself, are you also backwards?
Do you mean do I see the back of my head?
No, does when I look at myself, my Captain America shirt is backwards, but it's forwards for you, right?
Yeah, it looks normal for me.
Yeah. Like Dale, your hat probably looks backwards.
No, it looks. Let me see. I mean, I can read it, but it's a weird hat to read. So it kind of looks the same. The word Conan. So it looks.
I always wear my clothes backwards, so I'm okay.
All right, Woo, go for it.
Is that an L or a?
Yeah, so it's is that like if it looks like an L to me and it looks like an L to the camera, then
no, that's backwards L.
Yeah, that's wild. I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
God damn it! This isn't the mage game. This is werewolf Barney. Growling at each other right now, not figuring out if it's an L or not.
All right, we'll go for it.
So yeah, it's like let's make something abundantly clear. We are the Caern of Harrowgate doesn't betray its own people. So I'm just going to leave that there, and I Get of Fenris with my one good eye. However, we have no official ties with any other Black Furies. So I am sure that any information shared would be completely fine with my cairn, as they are not members.
I hear what you're saying in terms of not giving up your people, and I'm not asking and I'm not telling you to give them up. What I'm saying is that they owe us, and we need to set that straight.
Perhaps
just like any other debt.
Perhaps when they begin planning the defense of Harrowgate and Gold Springs, we could have a meeting between them and the shit blood they're looking for.
I like that idea.
And I'm sure
you keep talking about everything except what really matters. You keep talking about old debts and who has what in their blood, which is short-sighted and foolish. I don't care what rank you are. While you're trying to play your political games, the storm is going to come down on all our heads.
And I am willing to protect your cairn, and I am willing to protect your cairn at a distance to my own disadvantage. But I want what I want. We have debts that are owed to my people, and I want to resolve them as part of my own payment to ensure that you and your people don't die.
In order to, and this is Yetzel saying this, she goes, in order to prepare for the storm, we have to have our houses in order.
I agree.
Seems like a minor debt to pay.
Again, I'm not taking his life.
Just a friendly discussion.
And I'm sure you know then that I cannot speak for someone else's debt.
Would you be willing to go back to Francesca then and telling her that in order for us to help, we have to put our houses in order?
Who's the one saying that, Barney?
Yitzel, the Black Fury.
And I just leaned forward. Fuck that. You're here representing your house. You are already taking that mantle, little man. We are here to make decisions, not to hand them off or shirk the responsibility of us being here as we are.
Out of respect for your rank, I'll let you call me little once. Once.
Now who's worried about petty shit?
Jacob, man, you're the this is your hound, man. You got.
Yep. One, I think everyone should calm down or risk expulsion from this meeting. But yes, well, unfortunately, when Francesca chose not to come to this meeting, you have taken a role. We do need decisions made. Otherwise, this is just a waste of everyone's time. And this is way too important to be wasting time. I assume we all agree?
The decision is made. Our cairn doesn't give up our own.
But you said you would give us information on the Black Furies, who are not part of your cairn.
You're not our own.
Then the Black Furies will, then Devil's Pride will come and assist. And she does a side smirk to Oscar.
Who is Oscar again?
Oscar Grimhall, the Get Philodox.
As usual, it's the women who are the most wise. And I give her a bow.
I would advise not taking shots at the only people who can save your cairn from destruction, my friend. If what you're saying with the Maelstrom is half true, Harrowgate is sitting on the precipice of destruction. Are you that willing to throw away the Get's assistance?
All cairns are sitting on the precipice of destruction.
And some of us can survive it. And some of us can defend it, and some of us can fend it off.
If I was in a battle, I would not want to throw our greatest warriors to the side.
Let me make this abundantly clear. I'm not going to kill him. I want a meeting with him. And I will settle my debts.
A meeting on neutral territory I can arrange.
You name the place. That's fine.
As always, the Shadowlords are willing to provide any assistance requested in this meeting.
I actually would request that. I want the Shadowlords to act as a neutral third party.
I think that's a fair request. Woo, I take it you agree? You wouldn't want to imply we're impartial in any way.
I would allow the Shadowlords to assist in picking of the neutral territory if the Black Furies send a representative as well in those negotiations.
So we would pick the territory, the Black Furies, yourself, and the Get would send representatives for this meeting?
The Shadowlords and the Black Furies together would pick the territory.
Judge Cooper, the Iron Rider, speaks up and he says,
Finally.
I would probably say Gold Springs would be the safest place since it's full of humans.
Well, I do agree.
I'd be fine with Gold Springs.
Gold Springs does seem like the best spot for all of us to send our representatives to be sure this meeting goes smoothly.
Plus, it kind of gives us an idea that we would probably be sending some of our own Thurges to look at the place.
All right. And while we're there, we can also plan the defenses of Gold Springs and which clans would be best suited for them.
If our terms come. If we put all of our houses in order ahead of time. Iron Riders, we don't have much scratch in this, but we're more than welcome to help out as what we can with the expectation of getting payment in return later.
Of course. And the Shadowlords merely want what is best for all of us here. So we would be happy to allow the Get of Fenris and the Caern, the set in charge of Harrowgate, to have a friendly discussion.
All right, are we in it looks like we're in agreement.
Okay, one representative each from each cairn with the Get of Fenris from our cairn that you wish to speak with.
To be fair, I think one representative is not nearly enough. If we also, we definitely want Phildoxes there to be able to have some of the discussions we'll need to have. We need Thurges to look into the spirit world. We'll probably want warriors there in case there's any danger that would happen to Gold Springs.
I would let us put this. This is what Judge Cooper says. We know that our right masters are also in a meeting right now. What we could probably do is come together, and then we can determine as a group what our next steps will be. But we do know the next step will be somebody 1, 2, 5, 500, whatever that number may be, we'll be going to Gold Springs, where we'll be determining our next steps. So Judge Cooper, look, so congratulations, Woo. It would seem that you have gotten your wish.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. I bow and I leave.
All right, the denouement. Now you guys are going to be playing your own characters, going back on the moon bridge, and you guys can tell each other how your specific
who won the
scenes.
Who won the game?
Well, yeah, that didn't work out.
I tell you what, let's have like Dale and I each roll like 10 dice at a difficulty of a 6, and whoever has the most successes
like
is the winner.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm sorry, what was the roll?
Let's do 10 dice at a difficulty of a 6.
Oh, for a second, I thought that was Woo asking me who won the game. I'm like, yeah, that didn't go well.
There it is. Yep. Lucas.
Well, wait.
the Shadowlords.
No, that's just the first round. Weren't we going to do this 50 times?
I think it was best of 21.
Brian, didn't you say like best of or something like that?
No, I just thought we'd do one die roll and see who had the most successes.
I see.
Just to save time.
Yeah. Good. All right. Look, the Shadowlords win.
Hooray.
All right. So Enoch and Phil and Wu, you guys are heading back on the moon bridge together with Nana Bosher.
Yeah, definitely. The first question is, Phil, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that went very poorly.
I hit you in the shoulder. Next time, I'm playing.
You know what? That is a great idea. Next time you play, Wu.
And you can talk to all the rank 5s.
Now that sounds like fun. That sounds a lot more fun than playing a 1-on-2 poker game. How did that speech go?
Yeah, that was very uncomfortable. I did find out something pretty interesting.
What's that?
The Get of Fenris and the Shadowlords are definitely in league with each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they were all too happy to back each other up in negotiations. They definitely have something else going on the side.
My poker game kind of revealed that the Shadowlords and the Iron Riders were working together. I mean, I was pretty sure going in, but heck, the Iron Rider was practically the Shadowlord's butler during the game.
That might be the clue of the night.
Enoch, how do you?
I said that we've the head dickhead of the Get of Fenris really has it in for
Ted.
What's Aaron's character's name? Ted really has it in for Ted. To the point where they refuse to offer any help until we've had a sit-down negotiation about what they're going to do regarding Ted. The best that I could do, instead of just giving him up for the slaughter, I did have to agree to a upcoming meeting in Gold Springs with representatives of all the cairns and work out the final negotiations of how we're going to, I guess, deal with what they feel Ted owes them, which I have no idea what that is, and how we're going to work on the defenses against the coming maelstrom.
Yeah, they were very in my meeting. They were very interested. Who am I echoing on? Did somebody change a setting?
Yeah, I got my headphones on.
Yeah,
you just went back to normal on me.
Yeah,
you're back.
Glitched out for a while, but you're back.
All right, cool. So, yeah, they were definitely very interested in getting as close to Harrowgate as possible. So, Barney, last year the game was held at Gold Springs, right?
Last year the game was held in Harrowgate.
In Harrowgate?
Yeah. Well, 3 years ago. It's every 3 years the poker tournament happens.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but the last game was actually in Harrowgate, or was it in Gold Springs?
It's in Harrowgate. Yeah.
Okay. So why are we uncomfortable with them getting close to Harrowgate then? If they've been there.
They've been there, but it's limited. It's like being in a hotel. You're not going to move in. They were very. It's like visiting North Korea. You're not going to get free reign.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Get of Fenris wanted to install their own pack of heir runes in Harrowgate. That was their opening offer, and the Shadowlords backed them up immediately on that.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, they definitely want as much. They're willing to gamble everyone's safety for the sake of getting some level of access to Harrowgate, and that's not a good thing. We've essentially established that we will take them the body of the bird-headed woman as an offering up, as not quite payment, but mutual information and research for everybody, so that they're willing to help us protect Harrowgate and to try to stop the Shadow Man from calling in the Maelstrom.
Oh, one other thing. The Black Fury representative, Yetzel, is really, really interested in getting her claws into that other pack of Black Furies we spent the night in the barn with. They really want information on them.
Wait, you spent the night in a barn with a bunch of Black Furies? and I wasn't invited?
Yes, we did. And I winked at him. Yes, we did.
3 of them.
Wow.
Nana Beauchart points out, and she says, so we have 4 cairns that are allied with us. The Black Furies. The Black Furies, who want a piece of our cairn. The Shadowlords, who want a piece of our cairn. The Get of Fenris, who want a piece of our cairn. And the Iron Riders, who want a piece of our cairn.
To be honest with you, the impression that I got from the Black Furies was they were more interested in the other Black Fury pack than they were in playing some political game about Harrowgate. She definitely seemed much more intense on getting information about them and getting to them than trying to be so blatant as install a pack of air runes like the Get of Fenris did.
And we have to kind of keep level-headed around this. We are asking for their assistance a good number of times lately. We are getting our own compensation for what they're going to provide us.
Fair enough.
I still don't like the idea of a pack of Get of Fenris Aryans setting up shop in Harrowgate.
It's a good thing that idea was fended off then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what would do more damage, the Maelstrom or a pack of Get of Fenris.
Well, there's one I could deal with, but kind of poorly, and there's one I can't deal with at all. So I might actually prefer the Get on this one.
All right, and that's it. So, because you guys did so well, I'm gonna award you all with 5 XP this game.
Yay! And I just dropped 2 wisdom renown for getting caught in trickery.
Okay, and so what did you guys do? What did you get for other than losing renown? Did you guys do anything for gaining renown?
Well, I kind of imagine that stepping up as a temporary sept leader has to be some kind of honor, right?
Yeah, and I gotta see there. You might lose honor for disrespecting your elders too. I gotta look that up.
I respected them quite well.
Well, when you tell a rank 5 that you can only call me that once is but maybe.
But that's glory.
The worst I could see is if you want to consider this a rite is being disrespectful during a rite, and that's -1 to 5 on severity.
Yeah, speaking dishonorably to one's elders. There it is. Yep, -1 to -5. -1 honor, Brian. How about that?
Okay, but then -1 wisdom or +2 wisdom for not letting somebody walk all over me in the negotiations.
And being truthful, you get honor for that too. So okay, so -1 honor, but then you get 2 honor and 2 wisdom. Enoch, anything you did?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in the same way that Wu stepped up and spoke a good bit for his people or for his aspect of things. I feel like Enoch did the same thing. Talked at great length about my own adventures. Talked at great length about all the badass stuff that we've done, and also negotiating the non-harmful area where we would kind of do the research on the bird-headed woman's body.
All right, I'll give you 1 glory and 1 wisdom. And what about Phil?
I don't think so. I lost the tournament. I got caught cheating. I think we chalked this one up to a goose egg.
Well, you got experience. That's good.
Right.
And remember, since you just turned rank 4, you can get 1 gift that you don't have to have a spirit teach you.
All right.
So let me pick that out. All right, guys, that was fun.